What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Torn Your Rain Reloaded channel. Today we are going to be discussing, and yes, I did say we are going to be discussing this article that's coming from the Washington Post entitled "The MAGA Kids Are Not All White." But before we get into all of that, let me give an acknowledgement to my guest that is here, Kid Gravity. What's going on?
Hello. I'm doing
So,
better than this coon.
so initially, this video that y'all are watching was supposed to be a live stream, but because the author who wrote this put it on Washington Post and put it behind a paywall, and I was not about to pay for it, that's why we're here doing this. And thankfully, KG was able to access it. That's why what was going to be a solo live stream has turned into a pre-recorded collab, which I'm sure many of you are going to enjoy.
I hope so.
And when I first
trying to make it enjoyable.
Yeah, because it's going to be. I'll admit it's going to be hard to get through because of the subject matter. So there's this article right here you can see on your screen that was written by, what's the author's name?
Jesus Rodriguez.
Jesus Rodriguez, and he wrote this article it came out on the September 2nd, and he titled it "The MAGA Kids Are Not All White." And he says a new generation of young Black conservatives is trying to gain sway within Trump's GOP. They have some ideas for how to keep the party going. Just reading the subheading alone, that just screams out, I'm looking for a grift. I'm in search of one.
About color.
Oh, yes. The same thing that they love to claim they don't see.
Do you see the problem with the photo already?
Well, we see one major issue, and that's the subject matter in the very middle of the picture.
Keep going.
If y'all don't know who that is in the middle, by the way, that is CJ Pearson,
aka Old Face Andre.
Yeah. I see that they have is a total of 5 Black people in there, and it's 3 white people.
But I like how they said young Black conservatives. Them 3 ain't.
Oh, okay, Black. Yeah. And also, too, they called them the MAGA Kids, and I said to myself, kids. Last I checked, all of them are over the age of 18, and by law, that means they're an adult. And from what I'm looking at, I think all of them are over the age of 21. They're definitely able to vote, which means you have to be an adult to do. They can buy their own liquor, but they called them the MAGA Kids. Are not all white.
They're about to say them 3 white kids are either, I don't know. You think they Spanish?
Nah, that's PC all day.
Maybe they Jewish. Even though they mostly identify as white, but this article was fun to read.
Yeah, this will be my first time actually going through it because, again, I don't have a Washington Post subscription, so I wasn't able to read past this part right here.
Yeah, but I think if you have an Amazon account, I think you can access it, but don't hold me to that.
Okay.
But
we can go.
Yeah, let's begin. And by the way, they have over 1,200 comments.
Now, before we go any further, I was able to read some of the comments because that's not beholden to the paywall. So I was able to click on that, and at the time I was able to read. It was actually less than 1,200 at the time when I first came across it. But I was able to read some of the comments, and the comments kind of gave me a small guide into what I was getting ready to read. But not the whole thing, but just like a small little summary of what of the filth I was about to read.
I hear you. And why does this white chick look like she made this dress out of a bath towel? Well, anyway, let's begin.
You want to read it or?
Sure. It's a MAGA summer, baby. Let's go. That sounds like something CJ would say because he's such a. Never mind.
Yeah.
CJ Pearson was perched on top of a set of stairs overlooking a crowd of hundreds in a massive lofted apartment near 8th Street Northeast on a sweltering July afternoon. He wore a bone-colored suit from Suit Supply, looking like he was aboard a Biscayne Bay cruise. He yelled into a microphone as the guest, a collage of congressional staffers, conservative content creators, and assorted Washington. I guess that's arrivistes.
I'm gonna just say arrivees because I guess that's
arrivees.
Yeah.
all dressed in white, erupting in cheers. They don't want to save the country. They just want to be celebrities.
Exactly. And notice that when they reached that time, was it that time top 100? Like, what was it, content creators or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
And he got all excited that he was on the list.
Yeah,
I
him
don't know.
and what's the name? Forehead too.
I don't know how in the world they count him as a content creator, because I'm like, what content is he putting out there?
They just went off views.
Okay.
Let me see something. Oh, okay, CJ. I see you spending $800 on a tuxedo. I see you.
Something told me you was gonna look up what Suit Supply was.
Of course.
Because I'm gonna be honest. I never heard of Suit Supply.
Yeah, it's online tuxedo rentals and stuff. But all right. Let's see. Pearson was throwing this party called Cruel Kids Summer as a burlesque of a New York Magazine cover story from January that had included a photo from Pearson's inauguration weekend party with the headline The Cruel Kids Table. 6 months later, Pearson was still miffed about the fact that the reporter had said that, quote, almost everyone in the new young conservative scene was white, that the cover photo from his party depicted a nearly all-white tableau, and that he, a black man, had not been interviewed. Quote, the media accused me of throwing an all-white party, he told his guests at another point later in the afternoon, exaggerating. So we threw an all-white party.
So the part where they mentioned about him being a black man, so I guess CJ is fine with that now, because didn't he say in a tweet like a couple months ago, and I think I talked about it, you might have too, where he was talking about something along the lines of I'm an American or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Again, black when convenient.
Only when you get
all white
be able to
party.
push.
Reminds me of the end of white chicks.
Yeah. Oh, it's because I was gonna go get the tweet. It's Pancake's birthday. Who gives a shit? Oh. Anyway, President Donald Trump's Washington faces a problem right now, in his opinion. Too many receptions, not enough parties. Huh? Okay. Pearson 23. That's a goddamn
haggard 23.
He 23.
That's what I need to see a birth certificate or a driver's license or something.
Bruh, look what they wrote. Pearson 23 is a party guy. Young GOP. This is who you have running one of your subsectors. A party person. And of course, he went to a party school, the University of Alabama. He pledged Theta Chi. Or Chi, whatever. So he pledged never mind. I was going to say a sorority, but I don't want to do that. They didn't deserve this. But I'm going to look up that. And left with a firm grasp of how bad a gender ratio can mess up the vibe. Of Republican events, he says, quote, it's always like 70% men, 30% women, which is not even fun for the girls at that point. He can often be spotted at social gatherings around town sporting a red velvet blazer. You see what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm. But they want to get online and say all of this stuff. Meanwhile, they said right there that he's a party guy.
So they're already making him a stereotype.
And he's fine with it,
I guess. Of course, he pledged an all-white fraternity.
Yeah, that's definitely when they said Theta Chi, I said, yeah, that's definitely a white fraternity.
Yeah, here's the picture. Let me see if I blow it a little bit.
Yeah, like, and they said University of Alabama, because listen, I know I went to an HBCU. I know all the Divine Nine. If it wasn't one of those, then anything else is a majority white fraternity or sorority. And I know he stuck out like a sore thumb in his
shit. Anyway, he's a new presence in the Capitol, but also a very old one. Old is.
I don't know why I thought that was funny. When you look at him, that's why I thought it was funny.
Jesus, you sure he wasn't one of them gargoyles?
Nah, that's Rudy Giuliani.
Facts. An ambitious young scenester who seems to be counting down the years before he's eligible to run for Congress.
He won't win.
but he could do it now.
I mean, we see what he did, what he tried to do on a local level, and that didn't work.
What was the number?
The first time it was wasn't it a tie or something like that, and they broke. It was a runoff, and then they after the runoff like election, yeah, he was down like by I think he was down like by 20%.
Bullshit. No, he got killed.
He tried to do. I remember he tried to do a like a what was it? He tried to run again a recount. He tried to get a recount, but they was like, no, you can't get a recount unless you're like 5% below.
Right.
You were down like by 30%.
Yeah, it was like because the dude beat him like 2/3.
Yeah, so it was like you lost. Like, take your L and keep it moving.
Facts. Yeah, I called him the number. I forgot what it was. Yeah, 39.8. Got his ass whooped. But anyway, formerly he's a consultant. Oh Lord. He is also a prolific poster with social feeds calling diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts, quote, a disease, and arguing that Trump's recent deployment of federal troops in DC will save countless black lives. Sir, you went to a white fraternity. You literally became DEI, but you know. And he is one of several black MAGA figures vying for status and influence in the aftermath of an election in which Trump, long seen as an avatar of the white working class, returned to power on the strength of a more diverse coalition.
There's your, and that's your quote right there. The quote that you always say, there it is right there. When they said he is one of several black MAGA figures vying for status and influence.
Mm-hmm. And he doesn't even realize they're chucking them out of the party.
You said midterms next year?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's really going to start in November when some Sears loses. But you know, let's see where we were. This has inspired a new and hopeful belief on the right that Trumpism is now youthful, sexy, multiracial, and fun. Yeah, okay. The Cruel Kids Summer Party.
Yeah, because you know, you probably seen the post. You seen the post where like people like CJ Pearson and others like him saying MAGA has some of the hottest looking women ever.
Yeah, they said that like, the first term.
Yeah, they either say MAGA or right wing or conservative women are the best looking women.
Yeah, they're hotter than liberal women, and I'm like, okay, but
I mean, and to try to prove their point, they released a whole calendar about it.
And what happened with the calendar?
It didn't sell.
And what else happened?
I don't know.
They all went into a Twitter space for over 4 hours trying to justify them being in the calendar. They all got ripped apart for it. And they all lost influence, including Dana Loesch.
Oh, yeah. I forgot all about Dana Loesch.
Yeah. Miss, I'm going to highlight Dexter Taylor's story. And then as soon as he got convicted, shut up about it. Bet you if that was a white person, never mind. That's not what we're here for. Yes, we are. Again, back to the picture. Yeah. So CJ, they said, okay, we could give you majority, but we're not gonna give you all. By the way, I know for a fact this chick is African. I looked her up. So yeah. So off top, you might have got 50%. They had to keep you close, brother. They had to keep you close. Now listen to this. Torian, you're gonna love this paragraph right here. The Cruel Kids Summer Party was being sponsored by Meta, Pearson said, and held at a brick-walled loft apartment building owned by child actor turned crypto entrepreneur Brock Pierce, who rented the space to Pearson. Meta. Remember how they used to hate Facebook the first term? Now all of a sudden that Zuckerberg kissed the ring. Now he great.
Yep.
And he's in bed with Bill Gates on. Never mind. I don't want to do that to your platform. I'll save that for mine. The event will end up costing $80,000, though Pearson didn't say how much of that Meta covered, and the company did not respond to requests for comment. Soulja Boy was scheduled to perform. Soulja Boy. Pearson said he expected Wait a minute, didn't they tell us that black culture is toxic?
I'm telling you, they say one thing and they do the complete opposite. Again, speaking out of both sides of their neck.
It's like I said on that live earlier in the week. like you said, they take both sides of the argument, but they hate black culture so much, but they participate in it.
Mm-hmm. Or they look to hold it up as some kind of an idol to kind of like say, hey, we got the blacks over here.
Yeah.
I
thought
said,
hip hop
okay.
was bad. I thought hip hop was destructive.
And again, they try to treat it like as if it's like a monolith. I was like, no, you got that black person. You didn't get all of us.
Did Soulja Boy not do a song talking about doing something with a female that's not cool?
I believe so.
But yeah. Okay, say less. Pearson said he expected Kash Patel, the FBI director, to stop by. I think he wanted to get home to the hot young girlfriend, but that's just me. Before entering the loft, guests were offered cans of fruit punch flavored hard seltzer, which were chilled but somehow went down warm. Now, this is gonna sound wrong, but Jesus would know something about warm alcohol, because for some reason I don't know what it is. Like a lot of Spanish people, and this is not racist, a lot of Spanish people love room temperature beer. I don't know why. Like, you know how we put the beer in the bucket with the ice and just
with the ice, yeah,
like 4 hours. Mm-hmm. They put it in there and take it out like 30 minutes. But I guess it goes down easier. I guess whatever. Inside, there were issues of Foreign Affairs magazine, a box labeled horse medicine supply. What the hell? Ooh, this might sound like one of the MAGA Diddy parties. Let's go. A shelf with books about Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and what appeared to be a taxidermied bison wearing a white Make America Party Again hat, one of 375 Pearson had made for the occasion.
Make America Party Again?
I thought y'all were about saving the country. We ain't got time for partying.
But then again, remember that post that Trump made on Truth Social where he said something about America? Wasn't it in response? I forget, what was it about? It was a couple weeks ago. It was recent, about something about America is like the hottest country or something.
Yeah, we have the hottest economy in the country. We're the hottest country in the world right now. I'm like, dude,
and that's it. And I had said, who is writing this? Because this doesn't sound like it's coming out of the mouth of a sitting president.
No, it's his people around him. They're insulating him, trying to make it seem like that we're the crazy ones, like we don't see it, like we're not reading the news. There was an article that came out earlier this week that they're ditching the dollar and going and buy gold around the world, which we told y'all that was going to happen last year. And I showed that they were doing that. But MAGA said that it wasn't happening. I was like, okay. And when it happens, then what? And now they quiet. But, you know, that's them. So here we go. By the way, I think these are Caribbeans, but that's just me. Your friend is in this article, by the way. We're going to get there. On a wall of a sitting room, there was a painting of Pierce wearing an orange fedora. Real life Pierce was also there wearing a real life orange fedora. He described the apartment's decor as a mix of Americana and steampunk. He gestured at a giant chandelier. From the Waldorf Astoria in New York, he said, over blaring Euro Club music. Euro Club, not American music, Euro Club.
Mm-hmm. I bet that thing was like, it looks like a rave.
Yeah, that's probably what it was.
Or sounds like it too.
Yeah. Mr. Saxo beat blended somehow into Billie Jean. I thought black culture, but never mind. Upstairs, past the security guard checking wristbands. Here we go. There was a lofted area where Pearson's friends, such as Xavier Durousseau, an on-camera personality for PragerU, and Janiyah Thompson, the Trump 2024 campaign's black media director, were lounging. She's dangerous. I got something coming in a couple weeks about her. She's dangerous.
I told people, if there's any black person that is connected to or was connected to PragerU, they are not to be trusted.
Yeah, and here she go right here. That's Janiyah. Now, I ain't gonna hold you. When I first saw this, I thought that was one of them adult sex toys she was holding. I don't know what the hell this is. But then somebody was like, then I read in the thing, I was like,
oh, it's a fan?
It's a fan. But I was like, yeah, that looked like one.
Because I see the other girl, she got one, but you can clearly tell she's holding a fan.
Yeah. And that's the taxidermied bison.
Listen, I'm telling you, the students at Howard U are probably pissed about this because that is their mascot, the bison.
Mm-hmm. Duraso is 28 and would love to become the right-wing Oprah or a conservative combination of Dr. Phil and Wendy Williams.
I
They
bet he
don't want to
would.
save the country. They just want to be celebrities.
The right wing Oprah.
Well, at least he picked a black person. I was like, okay, not Barbara Walters, huh? Since you want to run to Israel. Okay. You know what Barbara Walters used to do, but we're going to be quiet.
Born in Chicago. I heard about Barbara's backstory. It's a very interesting one, but yeah, back to the article.
Yeah. Born in Chicago and raised in rural Illinois, he now lives the upscale cosmopolitan life of a modern content creator in Los Angeles, sipping Erewhon smoothies and posting videos to his more than 500,000 Instagram followers on topics such as Juneteenth. There's no such thing as a Black Independence Day, spoken like a Haitian. But if that's what you want to call Juneteenth, then I don't want to see y'all twerking on a boat on July 4th. Where the hell were y'all doing this?
And look at what he had to do. Again, what do I always say? The foundation of every grift is the degradation of Black people, especially Black Americans. What did he do? And how is he living this lavish lifestyle? He didn't just get it off of merit alone. That's for damn sure. He had to throw us under the bus first in order to get his foot in the door, and is still doing it.
Yeah. But then he tried to grift around talking about trying to act pro-Black when it's convenient.
Exactly.
Yeah. And the recent American Eagle ad campaign with actor Sydney Sweeney. Hot white people, this is your sign to stop being ashamed of your Caucasian excellence.
Like they need a voice. That's the other name that but people like him and CJ and the rest of them. I can't name them all right now. Is they think that they are the mouthpiece for white people. They don't need you speaking for them.
Facts. I'm telling you, if they ever come out with a Brother Voodoo movie, he'd say it was woke. And they're both Haitian. But that's another subject for another day. At the party, he was wearing a cream camp collar knit shirt and rectangular shades, like a douchebag, carrying a miniature electric fan.
I'm surprised he wasn't out there with a regular actual fan doing the boots on the ground dance. No, but you know what? That would be considered too ghetto for him.
Facts. Duraso, I'm sorry. There's so much opportunity for me to get involved more in consulting, Duraso said a few days later, pondering his future over an iced almond matcha latte. You're at a party drinking coffee.
and the fancy one at that. Would you stop at Starbucks before you came?
Maybe he'll go to business school. He's not sure. Negro, you're about to be 30.
He's not. He will not be going to nobody's business school.
But I'm saying, I hear you, but I'm saying, brother, you about to be 30. How you have no direction in life? These social media companies could take away your monetization just like that. What are you gonna do then? PragerU can fire you.
Look at what happened to Amala Ekpunobi.
But she claims she left.
Okay.
And what has happened in the 2 years since she left?
Ain't nobody checking for her.
And what else happened?
She grifted again.
And what else happened?
She started to wear her natural hair again.
And what else happened?
She started to sound more like a liberal.
And what else happened?
I'm running out of options. She got what?
She got stalked.
Oh.
She had to erase herself from the internet for a few months. Oh, and now she's back talking about politics.
It's like a pipeline. It's like literally like a pipeline.
Man, I know you guys were happy when I did that live on Tuesday when I showed you how right-wing media died, and it's dying on its deathbed. And I know when I showed y'all who came back, y'all were like, "What the hell?" But anyway, let's get back to this. He brought up twerking again. Okay. He was probably twerking at that party. He was setting up networking coffees with people here in DC so he can get more into policy work. Thomas was sitting at a sofa in the VIP section under a skylight in a strapless white top and white bootcut pants. She's also a consultant, and she says she's working with a criminal justice reform group, a company in the sports betting world, and a celebrity. She doesn't say which. Thomas, 27, also recently competed in the Miss District of Columbia pageant as Miss Penn Quarter and is planning to start a podcast on politics and culture soon. Don't they all just... She's not a big poster or party person, but she does see the value in trying to influence politics through culture. One thing the GOP needs, in her view, more black surrogates making the case for their party anywhere a camera is pointing, the way Simone Sanders or Al Sharpton frequently appear on MSNBC. They don't shut up and they never go away, and Republicans need to be doing that, she told us later.
The same could be said about them.
Money.
That's the thing.
Y'all claim y'all have so much money. Why y'all not starting your own?
Because they're leeching off of what's already there, and it's like they don't want you there. They would rather you be detached from them, but not too far to the point where you're outside of their scope either, because you know they're gonna want to keep tabs on you.
Right. But you got all these movers and shakers in this room. Y'all tell me y'all ain't got $1,000 each person to go get.
Listen,
go get some space and have a podcast.
They said
from there.
They said make America party again. That's what they're there for. They're there for to party.
Party after you do the podcast.
They don't know which way is up.
I hate them. It don't even start. Y'all can have a whole podcast network. Y'all just do collaborations like once a month or something, or once a week.
What's sad about
your shit up?
What's sad about this is when I first saw this, and CJ had posted it. He posted it and bragged about this. And as you're going through it, I'm like, this is nothing to brag about.
This sounds
it's like really not.
That last sentence sounds like victimhood. Let me help you, Janaya. They don't want to hear from y'all. It's that whole thing of yours to be seen and not heard. I'm telling you this right now, Tori. You can hold me to this because my record is really good right now. They're gonna get rid of these assholes in 26 after the Republicans lose the House.
I won't feel bad for them.
They're all gonna get fired.
I will say this though. I'm looking forward to the crash out because I know there will be several.
Oh yeah. Thomas grew up in what she describes as a liberal family in Fort Mill, South Carolina, but her view shifted as she read up on black political thought at the University of South Carolina. She was struck by, now this is another thing that these conservatives try to do now. She was struck by Malcolm X's admonitions, about two-faced right liberals that they can pretend to be allies of black people, but at the end of the day are seeking power just like conservatives.
He said, and that's the thing they do right there. They're doing the same thing with Malcolm X that they did with Dr. King, where with Dr. King, they do the whole I have a dream speech, and that's what they lean on. But with Malcolm, they only talk about when he's talking about the white liberals. He also talked about y'all black, he talked about the conservatives as well, but y'all leave that part out. He literally was not, he was against both parties, but y'all only hang your head on the white liberal part, but he talked about them white conservatives too, like in the same conversation.
Yeah, he said they're just more covert with it. With the white liberal, they're more covert. The white liberal is more overt with how much they love you, but the white conservative is more overt on how much they hate you. Basically, what he was saying. And it's the same thing. Trust me, if Malcolm was alive, he'd be going in on Thomas Sowell.
Right. And I would love to see it.
Here we go. That they could pretend to be allies to black people, but at the end of the day, are seeking power just like conservatives. At least with Republicans, Thomas said, you know what you're getting. Sure. Like Pearson, Thomas and DuRousseau see Trump's gains with black voters 15% in 2024, up 8% in 2020, according to a study by the Pew Research Center, as a potential turning point for Republicans. DuRousseau says he believes that people in the black community have been brainwashed to think that they must support the left. No, we don't. Barack Obama, Thomas says, made the chokehold even tighter. No, he didn't. But with rappers like Soulja Boy coming out and performing at conservative events, he needs money. DuRousseau thinks more like-minded black people feel encouraged to join the party, so to speak. It's simply a domino effect, he says.
Oh
No,
my
they don't,
God.
because most of MAGA is not even Republican. They're mostly
No,
independents.
I'm stuck on the part where he thinks that Soulja Boy, an individual who hasn't really had popularity like that in over a decade, probably longer, thinks that him performing at this event is somehow going to sway black people to be on that side. I mean, how dumb. Again, going back to what you were saying, these are the same people that try to say rap music is this and rap music is this and hip hop music is this and hip hop music is that. Soulja Boy is a rap artist. The same genre of music you say that we should not be consuming, and you're sitting up here saying, oh, him performing there is somehow going to sway people to get to the party. Do they remember what happened with Chrisette Michele? And she was just performing at the inauguration.
But remember, they hated Snoop Dogg 5 years ago when he defended Kobe.
Again, they switch out like they do their underwear.
It's like now on X, you're watching them. They were remember how they were crapping on India during Christmas? Now they're getting paid to shill for India. I showed that too on Tuesday. The Griff is beautiful.
But it's also temporary.
Oh, yeah. In this version of the story, look, there go your boy.
Oh, that's who you was talking about?
Don Lucre. Yeah, that's Don Lucre. I told you he was popping up.
Up there. Look, I'm gonna be honest. When I first saw it, I thought it was T-Pain.
I thought that was Wyclef. But anyway, in this version of the story of the Trump 2.0 coalition, Pearson and his pals are not just savvy young politicos partying on the dime of a tech company. They are the
partying on the dime of a tech company, not on their dime, but on the dime of somebody else. That sounds like some pimpish behavior to me, if you ask me.
Yeah, I told you, this administration is a prostitute and the rest of the world is the John. Or no, I said it the other way around. We're the John and the rest of the world's a prostitute. You just giving them money. But yeah, it is what it is. They are the vanguard of a new GOP, a party that managed, at least this past November, to pull out of its demographic death spiral by appealing to a younger, less monochromatic generation of Americans. And they go with, look at this a-hole. Why he look like
Dennis Rodman?
No, I'm not going to do that brother like that.
Wesley Snipes and Demolition Man?
No, I'm not even going to do Wesley like that. I was going to say, why does he look like an LGBT member of Men in Black?
Is he holding the deneuralizer?
Yeah, that looks like a deneuralizer. This should be a decriminalizer, but you know, that might be Greg Forehead in the background right here with the hat backwards. And this is supposed to be a party for black conservatives. Why are the bartenders not black?
I bet you there was not one black-owned sponsor for this party.
Hell no. They went to Meta.
Yeah, but yeah.
You could have went to the Root. You went to Meta. Okay.
Does Byron Allen still own the Griot?
Yeah.
They could have went to him. And Byron Allen has way more money than anybody in that room.
But who's their rich black conservative? Why didn't Larry Elder sponsor this?
Oh God. That's funny.
Y'all can't I defy anybody in the chat to give me a big old black conservative that got millions.
Or billions.
Wait. I don't even need billions. I just want millions. I'll wait. They're showing people that being a young conservative doesn't just mean you're out in the middle of the country like working on a cornfield, says Anne Marie Wiley, a former cast member of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills who now makes conservative content. So she was there. I don't watch them shows, so I don't even know what she looks like. Let me look. Who is this mammy?
He said, go back and said she was fired from Real Housewives. Now I see why she makes conservative content. Apparently she was fired from the show. And she needed some money.
Oh, she lost. She got fired because of her conservative views.
Oh, well, there it is.
Oh, she's married to Marcellus Wiley. Say less. We go back to the article.
That makes so much sense now.
It makes so much sense. You like she married a fence sitter. Because he tried to pull that conservative grift too, and then he started getting cooked. And then he was like, "Oh no, I love Deion Sanders." Okay, motherfucker. All right. Just like you were sitting there hating on Angel Reese, and then all of a sudden Angel Reese started doing what she doing, and then you start loving on her, talking about, "Oh, y'all making it about them racists." I was just trying to keep it on the stats. Oh, okay, motherfucker. The stat argument goes away real quick, right? When she was balling, huh? Okay. You wonder why you're not on ESPN no more.
Exactly.
We've got to build a tent. Pearson says several days before the party over Lemonade at Next Club, a swank downtown spot where he is a member. Huh? Next Club. Let me look. What's that membership fee? Let me look. There you go.
5,000 a year.
There you go. But what? But it's fussy about who gets in. There you go. They don't want to save the country. They just want to be celebrities.
This article
This
is telling it
Negro
all.
knows nothing, doesn't move nothing, but he got enough money to pay $5,000 a year to go join a club. Okay. An elite private club, a piano and drum set for musicians. The founder's dining room is available to those who will pay $25,000 a year on top of the $125,000 joining fee for the higher membership tier.
Which one you think he paid for?
If I had to guess, probably the $125,000. Somebody fronted him the money.
Wow. And he won't talk about that on his social media page.
Hey,
this article is telling it all right here.
But what do I say about the conservatives and MAGA? What I say sometimes, they don't read and they don't research.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna put this up. I put it up there on Tuesday, and I guarantee you they're not gonna say nothing. I guarantee you they won't.
And make sure to tag him in it too.
You damn right. Inside the Ned Swanky new private members club in DC. Look at this.
I didn't even know something like this. Well, maybe it's because I wasn't supposed to, but I didn't even know something like this even existed.
Private clubs?
Well, I mean, I knew private clubs exist, but I didn't know about this.
Oh, yeah, because it's your city. They said this is their fourth one.
Exactly. I even know they had a first one.
They got one in Qatar.
Is it originated in England?
Yeah.
So the DC one is their fourth location.
Yeah. This is the second one in the country. But back to the article. We've got to build a tent, Pearson said several days before the party over Lemonade at Ned's Club, a swank downtown spot where he is a member because there are no more white voters for us to get. Hey, white MAGA, I told you black MAGA don't like you. White voters. Before MAGA came along, he explained it was a faux pas to identify as Republican. No, it wasn't.
It was not.
It was shuggy. It wasn't fun. And I think that we're doing all we can to rework that narrative and rebrand it. Dude, we mentioned he's a consultant. Rebranded. So, white Republicans, you have a 23-year-old black alleged conservative trying to rebrand your party. Are you going to allow this?
You know they're not going to allow that.
You goddamn right. and the white Democrats will help them do it. But anyway, it was cool to vote for Obama in 2008. It was really cool to vote for that guy, said Harry Sisson, a Democratic content creator who frequently spars with Pearson online. It was cool to vote for Biden in 2020, and Republicans have, unfortunately, I think, swung that back to them. what I say on Tuesday, I don't know if you heard it. I said they all play in the same sandbox. They all have each other's number in text, but go online and act like they hate each other. I bet you dollars to donuts before this party, CJ Pearson and Harry Sisson were having Chipotle together.
Like they said, the world is a stage.
Yeah.
And everybody's playing a part.
Why should I say Chipotle? That's too brown. Sweet green. Cause we know they ain't gonna go down to Wawa. That's too much for them.
No, they went to Fogo de Chao.
Shit. And CJ, never mind. I was gonna say something wrong, but I'm not gonna do that to your platform. I'll just say this: he loves it when it's on green. Anyway, Raven Schwam Curtis, a Chicago-based creator who was part of a cadre of influencers attending the DNC last year, sees figures like DeRusso and Pearson using the subversiveness of being Black and Republican to position themselves as the new cool kids. Okay, Raven, let's see who you are. Raven Schwam Curtis. Ooh, a mixed chick. Okay, we got a mixed chick. Okay. Where we at? What they're doing is the equivalent of "we're not like the other girl," she said, making it clear she's opposed to their message. It's essentially a rebranding of the hipster thing. Most Black people vote for Democrats, but I'm voting for Republicans. And here's why you should listen to my deviation from the norm, because actually you've been duped. Well, ma'am, your side does the same thing. It's just y'all's messaging. You controlled it for 16 years. That's okay. Everybody got to get back in the lab eventually. At 4:12 p.m., Soulja Boy, wearing a white polo Ralph Lauren jacket, emerged to his 2008 "Turn My Swag On." I thought he wasn't going to perform. Huh.
He probably saw that money.
I guess. The other half must have cleared. Other Pearson bashes have featured Waka Flocka Flame, who posted in support of Trump for president during the campaign, and Kodak Black, whose nearly 4-year prison sentence Trump commuted in 2021.
Three rappers. Culture,
and one of them is a drill rapper.
Do you mean to tell me that y'all didn't reach into the bag of genres and pull out a country artist?
Forget that, Torian. You didn't call up Bryson Gray? You're right.
Or Jason Aldean?
I was going to leave the white musicians out of this. I was just going to bring the Black MAGA rappers. Why didn't they perform? The dude that did the F Joe Biden song, why didn't you call him up?
Right. The same, again, talking out of both sides of the neck. A bunch of hypocrites.
This was just, they grifted to be Republicans so they can meet rappers.
And take pictures and post it up on social media and say, look who I'm with. Come join us. That's all it is.
And then use them to springboard themselves into Hollywood. I heard CJ Pearson say he wouldn't be Miles Morales.
That movie would make $0.
I heard the Javier wants to be what's that do? He said he want to be Static.
That movie too would make $0.
Oh boy. Wait, who was the Black dude that dressed up like a dog with them white people? He dressed up like Scooby-Doo.
I can't remember. Was it anybody who has a name? Or just some
he was person? Like a name at that point, and then they dropped that picture and it just ended everything that he was talking about. He had to put his post on private. I forgot that asshole name. Whatever. Let's see. Soulja Boy was wearing sunglasses and holding what looked like a thick blunt between his fingers. All the stereotypes. It was not his first rodeo in Trump's Washington. Wait a minute. Trump don't smoke or drink, but y'all are around using his brand with somebody that is smoked. Never mind. It was not his first rodeo in Trump's Washington. The rapper, now in his mid-30s, performed at the Crypto Ball over inauguration weekend. Afterward, he explained that the organizers paid him a bag and remarked that Trump, unlike Obama and Kamala Harris, put money in his pockets. Nigga, that ain't their job. Your job is supposed to take their economy and make the bag for yourself. Why would Obama ask you to party? Why would Kamami ask you to party? Where is the game system, my G?
They don't have it.
Maybe you need to go back to the Breakfast Club and hate on Drake some more. That nigga is short. And look at all the mixed faces in there. Look at this.
Mm-hmm.
Look, there you go.
The photo op. They're gonna put it right on their Instagram page.
Is that Rick Ross right there? Right here. Is that Rick Ross?
It looks like him.
Right?
If not, that's a good doppelganger.
MAGA Ross. Soulja Boy didn't make any political statements and he didn't respond to a shouted question about his feelings on MAGA. What he did do was perform Crank That. There you go. A degenerate song towards women, but go ahead. While Thomas, Duraso, and Pearson, who was 4 years old when the song came out, danced along with their other friends. Most of the other guests did not crank that. Jesus is trolling.
I would like to see the footage of them dance. I bet most of them danced horribly.
After this, you want to see if there's any footage?
Nah, I'm good.
Okay. Later, having done his job and presumably got his bag, Pearson wouldn't share Soulja Boy's fees, citing a non-disclosure agreement. The rapper departed the gig wearing a white "Make America Party Again" hat. I mean, if it's free, might as well take it, right?
Yeah.
In national politics, Black conservatives had the hardest line to walk, said Jennifer DeCasper, executive director of the National Republican Senatorial Committee. Well, there you go. You want to guess she's white?
Maybe an off-white. Because of that last name.
Oh my God. We were both wrong. That's Alicia Keys. Let me stop.
Right.
Let me stop. No, she worked for old Mushmouth. Shackles off my feet. Fam, what have I told you on my platform? Where the rabbit hole is deep, that rabbit hole is deep. All right. A former longtime aide to Senator Tim Scott out of South Carolina. DeCasper hired Thomas to Scott's short-lived 2024 presidential campaign and became a mentor. DeCasper hasn't been to one of Pearson's parties. I probably have never been invited because I'm too old, frankly, and not cool enough, she said in an interview. But she does seem to understand the need to undo the stigma of belonging to a supposedly white party. But that's what the Republican Party is. No black person wants to lose their black card, right? She said, when we get pushback from our brothers and sisters, it hurts. Even if we think the policy that we're advocating for is correct, we don't want to lose our black cards. Oh,
well, here's a thought. Maybe not throw black people under the bus. I don't get what it is with a lot of these black conservatives who think that throwing black people under the bus is the way to get in. That's why a lot of black people don't gravitate towards you and don't listen to anything that you have to say, nor take you seriously.
Do I have to say it?
Go ahead.
Black conservatives, come here. Let me help you. Number one, I agree with what Brother Torian just said. But number two, since they never taught you this lesson at those nice little think tanks, those weekend retreats they invite you to, when white people throw other white people under the bus, guess what happens? They still get to go sit down and converse with them and eat. No matter how much their political differences are, they still get to eat. They still look out for them. When Asians do it, they still look out for them. When the Hispanics do it, they still look out for them. When the South Asians do it, they still look out for them. When your black ass does it, do you think those other groups are going to let you stay there? No. Y'all keep talking about losing your black cards. You sold your black cards out for a gray card. You sold it out for the black and white cookie card. One side's black, one side's white, and you get to flip it over whenever you want because you think that's the golden ticket. Willy Wonka came to come see you. You forget when you get your wake up call, them white folk ain't gonna stand with you. They gonna move on. And then you got to look us in the face. But y'all still never get this lesson. No matter how many black people they don't. Y'all just had Jordan Wells get smacked off the board. That didn't wake you up. He out here crying. He can't even get money on his gifts and go. Why didn't y'all invite him to this party? By the way, they said they did this in July. He was already on Dr. Phil by then.
I guess his invitation got lost in the mail.
Shit. No, I forgot he lives in the hood. You can't have no hood blacks around him. You got to be a middle class black. Thomas remembers being in tears after Trump speaking at a conference of black journalists during the campaign suggested that Harris was using her racial identity in an opportunistic way, that his Democratic opponent suddenly made a turn and became a black person after she spent years promoting her Indian heritage, in his words. And you know what Thomas said? I went on TV the next morning and I defended it because he didn't say nothing that Black Twitter ain't been saying. He gets the culture. He don't get it. You don't even get it. Why were you crying? Because Kamami lied about who she is.
And why did she cry after Trump said something?
Because the white man said it. It brought a tingle to her spine.
Even though we've been said that way before he said anything.
Jamaicans knew she wasn't black. But y'all didn't want to listen until it was convenient and you could make money off of it. But okay. What kind of culture is Trump promoting with his policies now that he's back in office? While Trump has signed executive orders supporting HBCUs and establishing a White House initiative on those institutions, his education department has targeted colleges that engage in diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts, which include HBCUs. The administration has sought to wipe those initiatives from every other corner of the federal government too, and has ended temporary legal protections for immigrants from Haiti and Cameroon. At the Justice Department, the Civil Rights Division has shifted from combating racial discrimination against minorities to combating woke ideology. I was waiting for that. When I first read this, I was waiting for that word to show up.
Woke ideology. Gotta love it.
Mm-hmm. The White House has ordered a sweeping review of 8 museums, including the National Museum of African American History and Culture. And last month, the president criticized the Smithsonian for focusing too much on how bad slavery was.
Imagine how insecure you got to be upset that a museum that is based on Black American history and culture, and it talks about slavery, and how that your feelings get hurt so bad that you got to you're trying to do a rehaul and say how bad slavery was.
You didn't hear what Ben Shapiro said on the Breakfast Club? Slavery was bad, but...
What do I say? When someone says but, bullshit was going to follow, and I'm sure it did.
Oh,
bad,
yeah,
but what?
He's like, well, he put it in the context of Gaza. I'm like, you can't do that, bro. That's like, what if I said, hey, the Holocaust was bad, but...
Oh, you already know. You would have, what's his name? Jonathan Greenblatt all over it.
Must be nice. Duraso has some notes for his fellow conservatives. Calling everything DEI, that needs to go, he said. He pointed to an episode earlier this year when an article about Jackie Robinson's military service briefly disappeared from a Defense Department website amid a purge of content promoting DEI. Questioning the success of every hardworking black person, he said, just feels racist at that point. Remember what I told you earlier, how he tried to switch to being pro-black?
Mm-hmm.
There you go. This nigga really trying to look like Simon Phoenix. What is this? And look at
They actually
how many coons can you get on a step?
They actually got a picture where it's a majority black people in it.
You see the Asian right there. You see the white man right there. This is insane. A week after the party, Pearson, Durousseau, and Thomas all spoke at a conference for black conservatives, which Thomas helped organize at a Hilton in Alexandria, Virginia. There were fewer people in the ballroom than there had been at the loft, but enthusiasm for the Trump's presidency was high.
It was probably mices in there that were louder than they were. I said mice.
Pissing on
mice
cotton.
Mice that was in there louder than they were. Exactly. Pissing on cotton.
So they came for the party, but didn't
stay for the policy, you know?
Why is all my sayings coming through? They chose personality over policy. They probably thought Washington TMZ was going to roll up in there.
This is the definition of secondhand embarrassment.
And they don't even realize it.
They don't. And if they do, they don't care.
Attention.
Exactly.
So sad. No, it's not. Various panelists cheered the administration's willingness to consider reclassifying marijuana as less dangerous than other drugs at the federal level. Some warned about the danger of contraband vapes from China proliferating among black youths. A former incarcerated man spoke with gratitude for the opportunity to be confined at a private prison owned by one of the conference's sponsors. What the fuck? You're proud to go.
Lopsided logic. I'm not even trying to grasp that.
Phrases going to a private prison.
Apparently this guy does.
Oh God. Pearson came on stage for a fireside chat about Gen Z and the age of influencers. He had good news for his fellow black conservatives.
Oh, let's hear it.
I've never seen so many celebrities who are so vocal about being pro-Trump and being Republican. Nigga, who? Washed up folk. You know, folks like Waka Flocka. Should we call him washed up?
I suppose.
Kodak Black.
Yeah.
Soldier Boy.
Definitely. And the thing is, none of them, to my knowledge, actually came out and said that they were in support. That's why, if you remember early in the article, when someone says, when they was asking Soldier Boy how he felt about MAGA, he didn't respond. He chose not to, because if he did, the internet would have took it a certain way, no matter how he responded to it. So he didn't respond to it at all.
Mm-hmm.
Again, they are using three black male rappers at that, to try to push a narrative that somehow this is gonna get black people to come over, but these are the same people that say that hip hop is destroying the black community. Like, how does this work?
Why didn't they promote Amber Rose? She rapped. He said, name checking rappers that have performed at his own party. Soldier Boy's publicist told us the rapper supports Trump as he would support any president, but he's not a political person. Well, there you go. It's just like that singer who MAGA thought was against woke and all that. And then when they asked him, he's like, I'm not with any political party. And their support for him just dried up hella quick.
And they want us to believe that MAGA is not a cult? Okay.
And so I think, I'm telling you, you remember the opening scene on Friday? When
came up with the Jehovah's Witness? Yeah.
Yeah, that's them. And so I think we've got to embrace culture. We've got to reach America's young people where they are, because our message is a winning message. But the only way that we're actually going to get that message in front of them is if we actually send it their way. He thinks he's helping with that. In August, Pearson launched Right Influence, a company that will work with conservative content creators. We're going to have another influencer farm.
That sounds right up his alley.
I'm curious. But I'm going to finish the article. I'm going to pull it up. I got to see this. Where is it? He launched it.
Right Influence.
I don't see it.
And they said in August, and they're talking about this August that, of this year, last month.
Yeah. Huh. I don't even see a website for this. Anyway. He says his group is working with MAGA World clients such as the Heritage
Foundation. Oh my God.
The American Conservative Coalition. I should do a live about them too. And Representative John James, a Michigan gubernatorial candidate. He's dangerous, by the way. As for his own political future, Pearson may end up seeking a more traditional path of influence in Washington. In 3 years, I'll be 26, he told us, you lying motherfucker.
You mean 46?
Yeah. So that would be 20. That's 2028. Oh, what? Hold on. Oh, my. Brother. He can't. Wait a minute. This Jesus must be trolling. Wait a minute. He had to count out his fingers. He didn't know. He's like, hold on. Hold on. He was like, wait. I'm going to be, in 2 years, I'm going to be, 3 years, I'm going to be 26. Oh, wait, that's 20. 20. 28. I know I'm only holding up 7, but it's 28.
Wow.
Tori, you want to say? I told you them South. What did you say? Them Southernbordarians don't like us.
Oh, what about the Southernbordarians?
How they don't like us?
I'm trying to think.
I know you probably don't have a saying for it. I'm just saying.
I really don't. I just had that.
Especially with that thing when you talked about Dakara Thompson. I think I said, or Thomas. What was the last
name? Dakara Thompson.
Yeah, Dakara Thompson.
Oh, I mean, well, I can't remember what I had said about that. I just said that he needs.
No, you were saying that. Well, it was more the optics on it, because everybody was saying, okay, we know he was an illegal, but she might have been like, they were trying to say how she was.
Oh, they were trying. Oh, yeah, they were trying to say that she might have been a certain type of a worker,
right? But here he's making you look stupid, like you don't know math.
I wish I could actually see that exchange, because he had to, like, he's saying this. So this had to have been recorded somewhere, for them to get this quote.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
I mean, he was on TV as a kid. He wasn't even in school.
Yeah. And the thing is, he says influence in Washington. I can guarantee you, I could go around and ask a whole bunch of people, do you know who CJ Pearson is? And no one would be able to tell me that they know of him. So I'm trying to figure out what influence and where and from whom.
So that's a presidential election year. That's also the earliest I could run for Congress.
That'll be another fail, and I will be there to laugh again.
But did you see this sentence?
So that's a presidential election year.
That's all they're cared about. You see that?
Not the midterms that's coming next year that you should really be focused on.
They're not even focused on Virginia. They're telling you this. They already surrendered Virginia.
Oh, I wish 2026 could hurry up and get here, but I guess what they say, patience is indeed a virtue. We waited long enough until we got to November of last year. I guess we'll wait another year and a half.
I'm telling y'all right now, if FIFA goes wrong next summer, the Democrats are going to landslide these motherfuckers. That shit got to go off without a hitch. There got to be no problems there. Not even so much as an international fight on a street somewhere. By his count, more than 450 people came to a Cruel Kids summer party, but they couldn't show up in Alexandria, Virginia a week later. Even if Patel, the FBI director, did not end up showing. Do you see what they just did? They made Kash Patel the biggest celebrity in the room.
Yeah, he wasn't even there.
Pearson would like to host more of them in the future. His dream musical guest is Drake, but the only thing the event, I tell you, say it again. They don't want to save the country. They just want to be celebrities. Drake?
Not Wheelchair Jimmy.
Yeah. You mean the light-skinned nigga from the grass from DeGeneres? Nigga that hide his kid for the world, but the world hide for his kid. Nigga named Aubrey. Drake. Drake. So he gets Drake. He could get maybe 2,000 people, but then when they want to actually do some work, they're gonna get about 14. It's gonna look like when Candace Owens was stumping for Vivek.
Wow.
I know why they really want Drake though. They want a whole bunch of young kids to run over there, and then they try to indoctrinate them.
Exactly.
And then Drake come outside talking about he feared for his life because there's a whole bunch of people out there, and they didn't know. They don't do good business. Where's the security? This nigga said Drake. But the only thing, listen to this, the only thing the event really reinforced, he said, is that he wants his future wife to plan their whole wedding. I just want input on the guest list, he said. That's all I need. He is single. So now we've gone from you shilling for white folk to now you want your wife to run everything.
And you do nothing but be in charge of the guest list.
Because he's going to try to see if he can get Trump there. And by then, Trump is going to be over in the Middle East just collecting billions. He ain't going to come back over to fly with CJ Pearson.
He won't even phone that in.
He might get a gift. He might get a whole box of, some kind of Make America CJ Pearson wedding hats. That's what he might get. And then they have it on the website.
Wow.
All the Republicans need for their newest guests to keep showing up to the party. And maybe also to bring a plus one. Look at this.
I don't know who that is.
I don't know who this is either. But there you go. VIP. Okay, who are you serious? A party goer enjoys some McDonald's.
Why does the table look like that?
Yeah, and what is this? What is this white thing right here? Is this ranch dressing?
I don't know.
Is that coconut oil? Are y'all trying to be like Diddy?
Wow.
He just scarfing down that cheeseburger, boy.
Is that mac sauce?
No, mac sauce is not that light. There are Big Macs on the table, but I mean, goddamn. Y'all, MAGA, y'all dirty. From February to August, Pew clocked a small downturn in Trump's support among Black Americans. Black Americans, hear it?
Mm-hmm.
And the future of the Trump coalition without Trump remains a question, but Pearson's July bash had at least one person who was considering her feelings about MAGA sitting there to exit. Jalen Isaac, a 27-year-old teacher in D.C. So that must be, oh no, that's Jay Howard. Never mind. Found out about Pearson's party through her friends. Oh, it's a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We're going to look real fast. Let me see what she looked like. Wait, what was that name?
Jalen Isaac.
Guess whose picture just popped up?
Who?
I saw Jonathan Isaac.
That's definitely not the same
Yeah, I don't
person.
think so. I don't know. Because the only other thing I see here is some white woman that got married to a black guy. I don't know if that's the same thing, but whatever. Let's go back. A 27-year-old teacher in D.C. found out about Pearson's party through her friend. She's a liberal. The Democrats were all she knew growing up, she said, but she doesn't want to base her political choices just on old traditions. Parties like Pearson's were more realistic about whom they were catering to, she said. On the table in the kitchen, spilled over fries, a surrounded amount of leftover McDonald's burgers sitting in their wrapper. They know we like McDonald's, Isaac said. They know we like beer. They know we like Drake. Seriously? So they could just get y'all with food.
Yep. Because remember, Trump likes McDonald's.
McDonald's.
McDeath, as I like to call him.
So y'all couldn't get no small business to cater this. You went to McDonald's.
The McDonald's, and I'm still stuck on how filthy that table is.
Look at all this. Look, it looked like they didn't even clean this table.
They didn't.
Look at the fries.
Just spilled
Y'all
out
ain't got
everywhere.
no plate. Where are
like
the plates?
They could have plated that so much better. Like really, they could have.
No, I don't mind that they lined it up with the fries and the burgers in front, but I mean, damn, take two people, take one thing of fries and divide it and put it in a Big Mac box or get a plate. Get a paper towel.
What it looks like to me also too is that they took some stuff, like some people didn't take the whole carton of fries, like they probably took some out of there and then kept it moving. I'm like, no, whatever you pick out of, you take. That's yours.
What I'm saying. We don't share fries around here. But again, they swear that they know black people. Republicans knew how to have fun without making people feel like misfits, she said. Bullshit.
I couldn't tell by that table though. I'm just saying.
When you're seeing people that you usually don't see at certain parties, she said, it's like maybe things aren't so bad and maybe we aren't being blinded and we need to actually come out and see what's really going on.
Because you went to a party? That's all it took. Because you went to a party.
There you go. He lied. I forgot CJ didn't graduate.
But like, well, that sounds much more makes more sense because a lot of them never graduate. A lot of them drop out. I'm telling you, most of the people in that over there are college dropouts.
No, they don't like being labeled black. Hey, dumbass. Yeah. Look, see, somebody said it. What's being portrayed here isn't a substantive political movement, but rather a search for attention and validation. Many people didn't vote for Obama and Biden because it was cool to do so. It was because after 8 years of the questionable agendas during the war on terror and their 4 years of unqualified and unhinged that there was want for a change. Oh, okay, dude. I've been a social conservative since my early 20s. What the fuck is a social? Never mind. Okay. Willful ignorance is just plain stupid. This administration does not care who, what you are, disposes of those that support them when they have extracted what they want. Well, every party does that. More like kids at a frat party. Going to a party with plenty of food and entertainment, people's one thing. Actually running the risk of alienation is another. Okay. My daughter taught in the inner city 100% black school for 2 years, just finishing last June. She said that Trump was very popular among the parents. Where were you? Where was this school?
That's what I'd like to know.
I bet you it was probably
I don't
Caribbean
believe
school.
that.
Them Caribbeans love Trump. I don't know why. Oh, look, I remember being in my 20s and wanting to be different from my parents. Wow, you wanted to be an individual. I hate these people. I think many commenters and pundits are missing the point that by many voters and Americans, Trump is not perceived as racist. What? Okay. You're an idiot. Because even Fox News just had to go try to run him cover, talking about he was a racist. Jessica Tarlow stayed calling him a racist, but okay, you're right. Nobody sees it. Okay. They didn't put out the story on the main news of him trying to review these museums and didn't see that wasn't racist. Okay. More than anything, we are a country that's a large contingent of people only. Oh God, these motherfuckers can't write. Only care about one issue or how things impact them personally. They don't look for ramifications or emphasize with others. Sad but true. We as a country will get what we deserve. Okay. Oh man. And it's encouraging that President Trump appeals to all races. Okay. After reading the article and comments carefully, I'm afraid that the following explains MAGA is in power so completely and is handing out favors and money and power easily now. Cabinet post for X that is attracting those who are looking only for their own advancement, divorced from ethical beliefs and principles about governing. Well, if you studied politics, you would know that's what lobbyists and special interest groups do. They buy influence. John Lewis, Fannie Lou Hamer, Bob Moses, and others. We need to hear your messages again. John Lewis. Okay. Yeah, Mr. Bull, hit me again. We don't need that.
Right.
There's so many groups and individuals trying to do good that go uncovered and unsung. Instead, we get a steady stream of articles normalizing MAGA because there's money in it.
It's all a grift.
In the style section, as it should be.
I forgot that was the other part that I want to remember. That they put this article in the style section of the Washington
Post. And who is going to the Washington Post for style?
Style.
In DC. DC has not been known to be a fashion hub. But okay. Using the word cruel as an anthem is disturbing because they're trying to relive the opposite side of what they went through in high school when they weren't the cool kids. Everybody in MAGA was
almost like Revenge of the Nerds.
Right. They were not the cool kids. Now they think they're the cool kids.
And still aren't. Like, who's paying attention to them?
Facts. You're trying to be cool adults in an elementary school. They don't care. As an African-American man, I have only one thing to say. And the first word is house, and the second word begins with the letter N. Jesus. Look, 23 people thought this was thoughtful. Y'all ain't shit.
We don't got to read no more comments. I mean, we pretty much get it at this point.
Yeah, and I'm not leaving one because if I do, they go like, we got to review it, and then they go not put it up. This is insane. But remember what I told you earlier about this Cruel Kid Summer?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're a whole group. This is from the Daily Signal back in July. From blacklist to whiteout, MAGA's Cruel Kids Party redefines right-wing cool.
I can't see it.
I'm sorry.
Again, they just now look at that picture.
Where I don't see a diversity of color here, but they made sure to mention CJ first. And you're like, okay, we got you out the way, man. VIP private lounge. Now this is what he got pissed off about.
Yeah, they got mad about that New York cover.
Oh man, look at this. Look. How is this MAGA? All right. There you go. That's the same chick from the other.
It looks very segregated.
Oh, I know. Look, there he go. He got an MC. Master of Cooning. At least he got a fresh. You see, he went around them white folk, got a fresh lineup. You see that?
You mean he went to Supercuts?
Tight the glides on.
Mm-hmm.
Look, he even got the little fade in it. Look at him. He trying to get a white girl that night, boy. Look at this.
Never mind.
He looked like,
Like a ventriloquist dummy.
that he also looked like he
doesn't look real.
He don't. He looked like if somebody told you, Good Times, Michael Evans, draw what do you think he looked like in 2025? It'd be something like this.
Wow.
Nigga spent $800 for a suit for a party that he had to send back. You got to be jiving. Look at this. And there they go. Look, y'all ain't got nobody serving this. I still want to know what is this?
They just reaching over and just grabbing.
Where are the tongs?
I can imagine the germs.
Yeah, Tori is going to kill me forever.
It's mayo. It's a tub of mayo.
Now that's just disgusting. I'm hoping it's ranch dressing. But then again, they go a little crazy for the ranch dressing. Look at this. Look at this Negro. But hip hop culture bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's no way she's in her 20s. Why does her skin look like that?
Bad tan job.
Shh. Well, I tell you, the woke-topus. What is this? The woke-topus? The dark money cabal manipulating the federal government. The woke-topus. Y'all can't be serious.
Oh, but they are.
Elise,
doesn't mean we have to.
Elise, are you trolling? Miss McHugh, are you trolling? I mean, if you are, and notice she ain't got no comments on this one. Unbelievable. But yeah, that's the last of the article. That's crazy. I didn't realize I was on camera the whole time, but that's all good.
Yeah, that was something. That was an hour and 22 minutes plus that we're not going to get back.
Yeah,
and nor is anyone who was watching this, but yeah, that was interesting to say the least, and not in a good way. But understand, the person who wrote that article was trolling the hell out of them. But CJ Pearson, because he seeks attention and clout, he posted that up on his Twitter account and was like, yeah, we're getting some attention. I had told somebody on another stream, I said, when they get attention like this, they are the equivalent of that family on Family Feud that says that random off the wall answer to the question and they start saying good answer, good answer. That's them.
Yeah, I'm shocked. And I guarantee you he didn't read it.
He probably didn't. He just saw his picture up there and said, oh, look, I'm featured.
Look at this.
Hold on.
You come look at this. Will you look at this? That's from the party. You're not even wearing blue. Why did you put on blue shoes? I need this understood to me.
He definitely should have wore some shoes that matched the pants and the jacket, since those match. But okay.
Accidentally becoming MAGA's resident party promoter.
That was no accident. You intended for that to happen.
Party promoter? So y'all don't work?
They don't work.
Where is this work?
They don't work. They don't work. He said he went to a party school. That's all he's there for. That's all many of them are there for, is to party.
And talk on podcasts. How you put this up? July 13th only got 3 comments. Are you supposed to have this big old I attended what? I attended CJ Pearson Cruel Kids Summer MAGA party when Gen Z conservative culture and even Soldier Boy collided. Here's what I saw. This must be somebody else. Okay. I guess they really didn't care. Oh, CJ. Why didn't you promote a party and raise some money for that Ukrainian that got? And there it is.
I got something to say about that, but that's going to be for my live on Saturday.
This here?
No, not that. About what you just said. Yeah.
Oh, okay. You see this here? Now you're blaming black fathers for DC.
And mind you, CJ is not from DC, y'all. For those who don't know, he's not from DC. He just lives there.
He allegedly from Georgia, but he in California.
I think that's where he's from. I think he's from Georgia, but
he's definitely
not from DC.
He's from a pod. Look, here we go. I've made the decision to retain legal counsel. Soon issue New York Magazine formal notice. Oh my God.
And how far did that go? Not far at all.
I ain't see him saying nothing. It's time we fight back. Who the fuck is we?
I think I talked about this.
Yeah, you did. And we were laughing about it. Because he had a whole meltdown talking about, I was there. There were black conservatives there.
He's like, how dare you kind of try to disclude me, and I'm the one that organized the party. So put it together.
Yeah, there you go. So the nigga lost his election and ran up north. Oh, by the way, CJ, if you did become a state representative, you would have only made about $50,000. Yeah, there you go.
They like the same height.
I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm finished. These cool boy. He went and talked to Harris Faulkner on February 7th. Well, they hate Harris Faulkner now, so it's all good.
Yeah, so yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, we like that's crazy.
I need some Arizona green tea.
All I have to say is they better get ready for those midterms, the ones that they don't care about.
They're not ready.
I know. I'm just saying.
They're not. They're coasting right now. They're going to get a bad wake-up call. I'm telling you this right now. We're heading for a recession by the end of the year. If that happens, they're done. Everybody getting fired.
Well, oh well.
January, when Congress comes back, that new Congress, the first thing they're gonna do is file impeachment papers on Trump.
Terrible.
You saw that jobs report, right?
Saw the what?
You saw that jobs report, right?
What did it say?
22,000. They were rejecting 75. And it hasn't even been revised yet. So it might be lower. There's more unemployed people than jobs out there.
And people like CJ Pearson could care less. Because as long as he gets to throw a party and go to this club where the membership is $5,000 a year, he doesn't care.
You forgot about
none of them do.
You forgot about the joining fee.
Oh yeah, that joining fee that hurt my stomach. That's crazy.
That was just like the country club I worked at. It was $100K to get in.
But anyway, y'all, that's gonna bring this video to a close. I hope y'all. Well, I know y'all didn't enjoy necessarily the article. It's more so our commentary with the article. But like I said, this was secondhand embarrassment right here. And it's going to be so much fun that we're going to look back on this next year and be like, we was right. But KG, what do you have anything else you need to add?
This Cruel Kids Summer, all y'all can go straight to hell.
Straight like that. But anyway, y'all,
that MAGA documentary when they do that, the fall of MAGA, and they all put out their stories saying how they were doing.
Oh, them tell-all books are going to be very interesting.
Biblical, boy. Please let me be an executive producer on that.
All right, y'all. We about to get up out of here. Y'all enjoy the rest of your day. Be safe, and most importantly, be one.